Hey, and what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning back in to another great episode of Chasing the Dream. I'm James Garman, and welcome back to my channel. But before we get started, I need a very big favor from you guys. I need you to make sure you smash that like button, smash it until it turned that awful blue color. And then from there, it will help the YouTube algorithm so I can reach more people with my content. Other than that, I want you to subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I go live and upload new content. So we're going to be talking about Donald Trump and his prediction of having a COVID-19 vaccine within 2 weeks. He said this about 2.5 weeks ago in his debate with Joe Biden. So from there, everybody was kind of skeptic of, whoa, 2 weeks? We could have a vaccine within 2 weeks? Joe Biden's response was, no, that's not possible. We can't rush it out. It's too soon. He wanted to wait until after he was in office before we actually seen a vaccine. It actually takes FDA approval before we can actually get a new medicine or a new trial out to a mass amount of people, or we can have it mass produced. So it seemed we may be a little closer than most of us predicted, especially Joe Biden's and his fans, because they didn't think it was no way that this could be possible. Also, there has been a huge spike in the stock market over the past week, and its correlation was actually going on in politics. So for all of my stock junkies out there who love to play the stock market, we all know that we have recently seen a boom in the stock market after Pfizer announced its COVID-19 vaccine. And oil has had its best day in the last 6 months. You remember back in the spring, around March and April, when everyone seen the oil prices plummet because no one actually wanted to take any futures on oil. So basically people was betting against oil because no one wanted oil because no one could go anywhere. That's what part of the COVID-19 situation. So Pfizer said during their late stages of trial that the vaccine actually had a 90% effective rate, which kind of goes against everything that Dr. Fauci and other scientific geniuses proposed. So from their perspective, we wouldn't see a vaccine to the end of 2021 or maybe even going into 2022. But with this being said, we actually may have something that could give us a strong control over this COVID situation and have our economy back to a basis of normality before we even know it. So what happens is the mRNA vaccine was developed with Germany's BioNTech, which attacks the spike protein, which the coronavirus uses to actually latch on to our human cells. So during the trial over a 3-week period, so what we got over a 3-week period was researchers administering 2 vaccine doses to about over 43,000 volunteers. So what we get is half of the patients got a placebo and the other half got the actual doses of medicine, which comes down to 90% of those patients. So across all patients, Pfizer logged that 94 of those COVID-19 patients seeing a 90% effective rate in their recovery. Pfizer is not quite done with their research. So Pfizer want to reach about 165 positive cases before they actually confirm their results. So we are looking at still a time frame before we actually get this vaccine out, and the COVID situation is dealt with accordingly. What we do not know is if this vaccine prevents asymptomatic transmission or cures hospitalized COVID cases. But we will make sure that we keep our eye on what Pfizer has going on and see if we can actually get some movement with preventing more COVID cases from happening. Until then, I think we just need to stay positive and hope that Pfizer has created a vaccine that could cure this COVID-19. But we still have to wait to FDA approval, and sometimes that could take a while, but hopefully this administration can push forward and get this FDA approved so we can actually get our economy back to what we knew as normal before everything went to shit. So we have to keep in mind that FDA needs data that comes after the trial so they can make sure that the patients aren't doing some crazy stuff like growing devil horns and growing hair on their feet. I don't know. People grow hair on their feet already, but make sure they're not growing dog tails and, extra legs and things of that nature. So there still could be a few weeks before, that data is transferred to FDA and the FDA actually signs off on this vaccine.